Hi everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of December 13 to December 19. The deck we are using today is the Mystical Manga Tarot, a deck inspired by the Japanese manga graphic novels, so if you're a manga fan, you will definitely love this deck. And you can always check last week's energies by clicking the link above if you want to see how vibes change from one week to another. And if you're looking for a more personal consultation, you can reach me on my website www.kassikai.com, where I offer live chat psychic sessions and tarot readings. But let's see what kind of energies we should expect this week. For Aries, we had the Five of Wands, and this week it's the Ace of Pentacles. There must have been some sort of struggle last week, a competition, a contrast, that made you spend much energy probably, as you had to fight opposition, and there might have been some stress, some irritation even, fast energies, fast and maybe unexpected developments. But this week, the Ace of Pentacles means that after this ordeal, something is being offered and a door is opening for you, and that would be a door that leads to something solid, long-lasting. So whatever happened last week, whatever competition or struggle you've been through, it appears that you are getting a reward now, which means that you did well. If you have been waiting for a document or a message that has been delayed, this week you will probably get it. Also, if there has been an argument or a fight with another, this week you are coming to an agreement as you both decide to give it another chance. The Ace of Pentacles is something that needs to be nurtured patiently, so don't expect quick fixes and don't expect things to change magically or overnight. Whatever you decide to do, you should be prepared to put in your energy and time in order for it to develop. Pentacles represent the physical world, so it's about what you want to manifest in your everyday life, like a relationship or a job, and this week is opening a door for you to bring your plans into reality. Any type of new beginning is now favored, and if things have been difficult in your personal or professional life, now you can make a new start and you can put things on a new basis. If you have been wondering about another's feelings, it's probably too soon for feelings to have fully developed, so you need to be patient and wait for a while for feelings to develop organically. Think of this ace as a seed that cannot be forced to grow. If you attempt to force things, you will probably get unwanted results, and something may end before it has even started. Now, if you want to know how something will progress, it appears that you will take the next step soon and things will get to a new stage. You need to keep in mind that this seems to be a step-by-step process and a long-term investment. So the only thing you need to decide at this stage is whether you feel something's worth your time and energy or not. For Taurus, we had the Hanged Man and now the Page of Pentacles. The Hanged Man you had last week marked a period of slow-moving energies, lack of action, delays, and you or another might have decided to take a break. Now with the Page of Pentacles, a new doorway is opening and things start moving finally, but very slowly because Pentacles are slow and it's a step-by-step process. It's about taking a day at a time. The Page of Pentacles shows that something is starting or restarting, and that's triggered by a message, and probably a message that has been delayed or blocked, but this week you will finally receive it. In general, you should expect good news involving jobs, financial matters, and also studies, like for example, you may receive a message of acceptance that will make you feel really good. If you're wondering about another's feelings, it appears that this person is thinking things through. They don't want to make a hasty decision. They want to feel very certain and weigh the pros and cons before they decide to go ahead with something. And they move slowly and carefully because they want everything to be perfect, and that could test your patience because your pace is faster at this stage and you want things to move fast. This person is faithful, reliable, and loving, but perhaps they have some growing up to do, because pages are the kids in tarot. So they always show a certain amount of immaturity, or they show that something is in the very early stages and you need to give it time to grow. But in any case, and compared to the energy of the Hanged Man that often suggests a total halt, things will start moving, even if slowly and carefully. The good news is that the Page of Pentacles is an Earth card, and you are an Earth sign, and Earth is your home. You understand very well this energy, and it's familiar and comfortable, so no matter what, you will be able to find common ground, and the meeting of the minds will be easy. You need to get to know each other a little better though, or if you know each other for a long time now, there's an aspect of this connection that has not been explored, and you will now have the opportunity to remove an obstacle, but not without conscious effort and patience. The Page of Pentacles often foretells good news about children, young people, students, and pregnancy, especially if someone has been trying for a baby and they haven't been successful so far. For Gemini, we had the Two of Pentacles and now the King of Swords. The Two of Pentacles last week must have generated some hesitation and second thoughts, and you might have tried to sustain a situation in a way that you knew you couldn't continue for too long, but the King of Swords this week brings clarity of thought, and you will know what you need to do because you now know what you want. And perhaps someone will try to take some distance, wanting to do the right thing, and that could cause a conflict or a disagreement between you, or you may decide to take distance from a situation to try and see things more clearly. So it's possible that you will release an old idea or a plan you had, and now you can see that things cannot go ahead because there are obstacles in the way, and those obstacles are of a rather practical nature. If you want to know how another is feeling about you, they are being very cautious and reserved, and that's probably because they don't want to repeat mistakes of the past, and they are trying to push their feelings aside. They are suppressing their feelings. They are unable to connect with their heart at the moment, and that means you may not be on the same wavelength at this stage. Kings represent the completion of the stage, and that's a good card if you are dealing with legal matters, so it foretells an outcome that will be in your favor. And also, if a solution to a problem eluded you so far, this week you will be able to figure things out and the solution will come to you. A man of an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, will play a significant role in your life this week, and this person values logic, but he's not very good when it comes to expressing emotions. Since this guy has a very sharp tongue, it's advisable that you try to be diplomatic with him, because that's something that he understands really well and appreciates. Keep in mind that this person will do the right thing even if his feelings are against it. If you are wondering how something will progress, it appears that a balanced and fair communication can guarantee a positive outcome. It's also about being honest and clear. Avoid lies, deception, or manipulation, as those things will probably backfire and you will not get what you want. For Cancer, we had the King of Wands and now the High Priestess. The King of Wands you had last week is a card of action, and it was about being active, open, and enthusiastic, but the High Priestess is a very different energy. Passive, secretive, and reserved. It means that someone around you may have a secret agenda, and things are not exactly as they appear to be. They will probably try to hide something that you did last week, or you may try to hide something you did. In any case, things are very fluid and unclear, and at the same time, intuition is very strong, and you will probably have vivid, even prophetic dreams, and you may also feel that you are connecting with another telepathically. And if you're wondering how something will progress, it appears it's moving towards a more passive stage, so expect that this week there will be less action and someone may decide to withdraw, or you may take some distance from something or someone, but there will also be greater understanding, especially when it comes to intuitive feelings. It's about what you feel in your heart, what you know deep down. And if you are honest with yourself, you will know exactly how another is feeling about you, and you will know what your own true feelings are. The High Priestess rules the moon, and the moon's energy is volatile and ever-changing. That's why you should expect some fluctuations and ups and downs in feelings, and the next couple of months will be particularly interesting when it comes to your love life, as someone may appear or reappear when you least expect it. Because you are on someone's mind at the moment, they are thinking about you, even if they are not taking action yet. Also, it's possible that you will share a secret with someone, probably a male, and that could turn the tables and change the situation in ways that you don't expect. If you have an affair or secret relationship, take extra care this week because someone, a male again, might have eyes on you. So if you don't want to get caught, be extra careful. Don't leave your phone or your laptop unattended because someone may tamper with it and uncover information that you keep hidden. Although this week you shouldn't expect big changes or fast action, there will be much inner action, meaning inner changes, realizations, and it's about paying attention to what's not said. For Leo, we had the Three of Cups and now it's the Two of Swords. Last week must have been a time of connection, growth, and positive energies, as the Three of Cups is a card that shows progress and maybe some excess too, so perhaps there was a tendency to overdo it, especially in situations involving strong feelings and how you expressed those feelings. But this week you will definitely feel more detached, and that will be mirrored by others. Meaning, if you decide to take distance, another will probably take distance too, and communications will be more reserved, less open, and there might be a need for diplomacy, for finding common ground. There might be something you need to negotiate, like an argument or a contrast, and this week you will probably reach a decision or an agreement that will be temporary, but it will hold for a while, and you will probably have to include other people too in that decision, or you will have to take into account their needs, because the energy of the Three of Cups is still around you, and that would be either a third person who's influencing the situation one way or another, or a group of people that are affecting the situation. The Two of Swords is the moon in Libra, and the moon represents our feelings, while Libra shows some fluctuations, so you may find that you can't really trust your feelings because they will change way too often. So one day you will feel one way and then another day another way, and probably you will get the same impression from others. The good news is that the Two of Swords gives the promise that balance can be achieved, not without compromises. So this is not a good week to try and have your way, and as a Leo you do have a tendency to do that, but if you try to have everything on your terms, that won't work, and it will probably backfire as there will be opposition and strong resistance. Events that took place between 23 September and 2 October may have a particular significance now, or someone from around that time will resurface. Think if there's a lesson you learned those days, and if you're dealing with a repeat of a situation, try not to make mistakes you did in the past. This week you will be presented with two different options, and that could be two different persons or two different paths you can take, and maybe that will put you in a dilemma. Remember that this week will be a great time to make adjustments if you have to. The universe will be on your side. For Virgo, we had the Ten of Wands and now it's the Sun. It appears that this week things will start looking up, as from the pressure and tension you experienced last week, the presence of the Sun suggests there is light at the end of the tunnel. And in fact, something will come to light, a realization or good news you will get, and that will make you feel more optimistic. And also you will be in the spotlight in some way. You will be in the center of attention, so other people, not only will they start noticing you more, but they will also pay more attention to your needs. And that's why this is a very good time to ask for a promotion or a favor, and it appears you will have some protection, some support. The Sun is a male energy, and it can point to someone who's like a father figure, a protector, someone with power that will help you with your plans. You will have some very positive meetings this week, good vibes, good energy around you. That's why I expect some very pleasant and happy moments, joy and good times with your friends or with your partner. Your moods will improve too, and if you are in need of healing, emotional or psychological, you will notice that your health is improving. Make sure you go out in the sun to absorb its healing rays, and try to plan outdoor activities if you can, alone or with others. This week you need to take into account your energy and how to preserve it. Make sure you don't let your energy be drained by toxic people and situations. Expect that you will have a very enlightening talk that will bring some much needed clarifications in a situation that was vague and uncertain, and perhaps that was one of the reasons you felt so pressured a few days ago. But energies are now shifting, and you should use this week to benefit from the positive energy around you that could take you closer to your goals, whatever those goals might be. The Sun card points to a 12-month time frame, and that means things that started 1 year ago will probably be completed very soon, or things that you are starting now, especially a long-term project, will take about a year to be finished. You will connect with people with very fresh and youthful energy, and if you are single, it's possible that a new love interest will come into your life. Also, children or young people may require your attention this week. For Libra, we had the Tower and now the Four of Cups. After a very intense week, you will probably take a break now, as the Four of Cups indicates stability and a stage when you stop and take a breather. and it may be much slower or silent than you expect or like, but it's a much needed change from all the intensity and pressure that will give you an opportunity to reflect, draw your energy in, find some balance, and then think about the next steps you need to take. Now things will be slow and you shouldn't expect a very drastic change. And all people involved are trying to absorb all the energies, all the events that happened, and you shouldn't expect any strong emotional reactions. So if you're wondering about how another feels about you, their feelings haven't changed, but you shouldn't expect them to act on their feelings yet, as they too are at a stage of reflection and they are thinking if they want to accept what's being offered or not. Astrologically, the Four of Cups is connected with the Moon in Cancer. So this four will make you very sensitive to all the subtle energies around you, and it will make you feel very vulnerable, easily offended too, and you will probably decide to protect your feelings as best as you can, or another will do that, and for that reason they may appear guarded and detached. Try not to get stuck in negative thinking, as there might be a tendency to do so, and trust there's a hidden reserve you can tap into that can be a newfound inner strength. This energy often comes with some form of discontent, so although you will feel calmer than last week, at the same time things are still not as you want them to be, but there can be something that you're missing, something that you're not able to see because you are so caught up in your own thoughts and projections. And you may feel that there's a situation in your life that appears to be stuck, but you are not yet ready to change because there is a comfort in it, and you are thinking that if you end it or if you take drastic action, you might later regret it. This is a good week to establish boundaries, especially if you feel that you need some time to make a serious decision about your personal or professional life. That's not a week to take action, but to reevaluate, to reassess. Around Thursday, you will find yourself in a better mood, and maybe then you can decide on your next course of action. For Scorpio, we had the Ten of Pentacles and now the Page of Wands. This week you will get a very pleasant message or phone call or an unexpected visit that will make you feel good. The person you will connect with has a very youthful and positive energy, and their presence can be very inspiring and motivating. Sexual energies will be very strong, and you will feel very attracted to someone. And maybe this person is new because pages foretell new beginnings, fresh energy that comes into your life. And maybe that's a much needed break after all the seriousness of the previous weeks, when you had the Ten of Pentacles and before that the King of Swords. And perhaps an important and serious matter has been completed, and you now have the time to celebrate and enjoy yourself by connecting with positive vibes and people. You will find that this week you will be very popular, and invitations may come your way, and you will feel very excited, ready to dress up and present yourself in a way that will be very attractive to others. And in fact, you will enjoy more attention this week as public relationships and connections are strengthened. A child or a very young person may require your attention and will play a significant role this week. So if you're a parent, expect a very nice surprise from your children, something that will make you feel very proud of them. The Page of Wands is a card traditionally associated with job offers and new beginnings in career, so if you are looking for a job, expect positive news this week, as your skills, experience and abilities will be mostly appreciated. This will be a busy week anyway, and you may find a new interest, hobby, or new love interest. The only thing you need to be aware of is that the energy of this page is very intense, enthusiastic, fire energy, but it can be very easily spent, which means that your interest for a particular activity, project, or person may be short-lived, and after a few days you will realize that what appeared to be exciting isn't as interesting as it initially appeared to be, and since you are at the very early stages of development, you need to give something time to fully grow. The good news is that the Page of Wands, as all pages, show potential, so whatever you decide to start this week can become a long-lasting situation as long as you are ready and willing to invest time and energy in it. For Sagittarius, we had the Chariot and now the Emperor. Whatever you were trying to accomplish last week will now get more structured, more stable, and energies and emotions will calm down a bit. However, if the issue is a personal relationship, it appears that there's a struggle, a conflict between emotions and thoughts, since the Chariot is a water card and water is emotions, while the Emperor is fire, and fire and water fight each other. You will probably reflect on your feelings and your emotional state, and maybe you will revise or reassess a goal you set in the previous weeks. The Emperor is a strong male presence, possibly a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sag, and this person may be very set in his ways, not always willing to consider another's position, views, or needs. So maybe you are dealing with someone who's stubborn, and the reason for that is that they have a very specific goal in mind, as the Chariot showed us, a very specific outcome. One thing that you should keep in mind is that whatever will be solidified this week will remain so for a long time. That means you still have the time to negotiate your terms or to draw boundaries, and if you fail to do so, it's very likely that the other side wins. This person seems to have some control over you for one reason or another. Maybe they are more experienced, maybe they hold a higher position if you're dealing with a professional situation, a boss for instance, or perhaps the dynamics of your relationship with this person do not allow for a balanced interaction at the moment. If you have been expecting a document, a license, or the approval of a project, this week you will probably get it, and you will also have a strong ally by your side, someone who holds a position of power. So if you need help with practical matters, there will be someone who will be willing to help you or to protect you and be on your side, especially if you're in the middle of a conflict with another and you need some support. And again, this person might be of a fire sign, Aries most likely, and you will probably have dealings with Aries people anyway this week. Try to do things in an orderly manner, as whatever you do this week will require preparation, focus, and intention. Stay within the rules, pull yourself together, and see things through logic. Don't let emotions run the show. A balance between heart and mind is what you should strive for this week. For Capricorn, we had the Death and now the Seven of Wands. With the Death card you had last week, maybe you started feeling very different, like a different person. And perhaps there has been an ending or a disruptive event that left you with no choice but to make a difficult compromise. And that choice could be to face some rather difficult facts and to change either you wanted it or not. And now, with the Seven of Wands, you probably feel much more grounded, but at the same time more active to protect yourself and your interests. And that means you can get more defensive this week, or another may get defensive as a result of your actions. You will stand your ground when it comes to outer influences and opinions, and that could put you in a rather uncomfortable position, especially if you feel that everyone's against you, which might or might not be true. Before you take action and start attacking someone, make sure that your fears are founded first. Because under this energy, there's a risk that you will attack someone unfairly. There might be arguments this week, but at the same time, there will be passion and very strong sexual energies, so the temperature is rising when it comes to sexuality, and you will experience some very intense moments. Events that happened around mid-August can come to a culmination now, or people from that time may resurface and play a role in the current happenings. The Seven of Wands is Mars in Leo, which means that you will somehow be in the spotlight and your passions and ambitions will be strong and will make you act in a way that oozes confidence, and at the same time you will probably set a high goal, something that when achieved will make you feel proud of yourself. You will probably have a very enlightening and much needed talk with someone where you will talk openly about your desires, plans, and expectations, and that's actually a much needed conversation. You won't beat around the bush, you now want to go ahead in life, even if that means you will displease or disappoint some people. You will feel that now it's all about your needs and your desires, and that's a good thing, especially if you've been neglecting your needs, making others a priority all the time. For Aquarius, we had the Empress and now the King of Wands. Both the Empress you had last week and the King of Wands we have this week show creative energies, passion, high activity, and also leadership. And that means you will probably have to lead a situation, to take initiative and make it happen. Whether it's a personal or professional goal, it appears that this is a time to show what you are made of and to get what you want. The King of Wands could be a man in your life, probably a man of a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, and since the energy of the Empress is still around you, and the Empress is a good energy, expect that things in this relationship will improve. You will get closer emotionally, sexually, and you will probably share some very positive moments this week. And since the King of Wands is a card of action, if someone has been slow or inactive, expect that they will be more active this week. They will initiate more, and maybe at some point they will become a little too fast for you. In which case you may have to decide whether to follow their pace or to maintain your own rhythm. The Empress was a passive energy, an earth card, and it's a good energy to have if you want to set foundations, but the King of Wands is fire. And that's what you need when you want to get things done. And expect that this will be a busy week with lots of developments and action, and you will feel more passionate about personal or professional relationships. And for that reason, you may come across as too strong for some people. Your relationships will be very intense anyway, and when it comes to dealing with difficult issues, under the energy of this king, things can easily get out of hand. So make sure that you keep your cool when there's difficult communication involved, and try to give logical reasons if someone sees things very differently. Since both the Empress and the King of Wands are very powerful energies, you will probably attract a very interesting job opportunity or a very interesting person. Material success, success in love, and good health are indicated with this combination, so make sure that you make good use of this energy and try not to procrastinate or to overanalyze things, because opportunities might be missed. You may decide to participate in a contest or competition, or there might be competition around your career or personal relationships. The fiery nature of this king will help you stand out, and you can tap into his energy and go for what you want with confidence and determination. Finally, for Pisces, we had the Four of Cups and this week the Five of Wands. Although you had a very slow and passive card last week, the Four of Cups, it appears that this week you will feel a very different vibe. You will be very energetic, active, and you will set your eyes on a very particular goal that could be personal or professional, but it appears that there are others who are after the same reward, and you will surely have to deal with some opposition. But if you have figured out what you want to have and what are the weapons you have at your disposal at the moment, it's very possible that victory will be yours and you will manage to stand out from the crowd. However, since the Five of Wands represents Saturn in Leo, you may find it difficult to convince others of your own needs or to make people see things from your point of view, and you may even decide to deny yourself some pleasure in the name of success, because Saturn is limiting the generous and warm energy of Leo. So what will probably happen is that others will not like it if you appear better than them, and that means you can experience power struggles in a relationship, and your partner may become really competitive, and before you know it, you have a full-on battle in your hands. The same can happen at work, and you may feel like someone's trying to push your buttons intentionally to get a reaction, and that may even feel like a silly game to you, and you are thinking to cut them off altogether. However, in 5 days' time, you will start feeling a shift in energies and you will experience a very different vibration, especially if you decide to change your course of action. So, if you are not getting what you want in love, career, or family, and people are all over the place, keep trying different things to find those that succeed. Events that took place around end of July or beginning of August may be completed in some way, or there might be a lesson you learned back then and you need to apply in a current situation, or a person from that time may resurface. The Five of Wands shows that you will have to deal with many different energies around you. So you may feel that people are working at cross purposes, generating chaotic energies, and you will probably have to step up and keep the situation under control. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes by Kassie. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you next week.